No, we're really excited to get going. It's been a good August camp. We think productive, and I think our players are really excited to get going here on Thursday. We play a really good opponent in Southeastern, an opponent that I know a lot about, have had a lot of history with, and I was telling our players, I mean, with a new staff and some things, you're not exactly sure what you're going to get, but a couple things that we are sure about is, number one, they're going to have really good players, and we know a lot of players on their team, and plus they have a lot of Power 5 transfers on their team that appear to be really good players. So we know they're going to have good players because they always do. And then secondly, we know a lot about their staff, and they're going to be very well coached because we know that Frank Selfo is a really good coach, and Greg Stevens coming back to be the OC. And so those are really the things that we know. We're excited about playing the first game. I think our kids are going to be ready, and we know we have a really good opponent coming here in here Thursday.
Thank you, Coach. Our first questions come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Just wanted to ask you, this is kind of the first year that y'all have been mentioned as being one of the teams, picked to really contend at the top of the division and so forth. How have the players sort of adapted to that, and is that something that is talked about among your group?
We haven't, Dan. We haven't really talked about it a lot. It's just kind of been business as usual, so to speak. But I just looking at it, I mean, all you really see is yourself each day. So I'm not really sure, where we're at, but I think we'll be better. I hope for sure. But I think expectations are good, and I kind of come from a situation where we had high expectations every year, and I think it's a good thing to have expectations, and for kids to feel that they're expected to do a lot or do more. Basically, I say a lot, do more than what they've done. So, but it still doesn't translate to anything once you get on the field. But I think in preparation in the off season and stuff, it's exciting.
It's a quarterback-dominated game, sort of now. How much better do you sleep knowing you've got a guy like Caleb Evans running your show for you?
Well, I mean, he's really done well. He's had a good season last year, and I've really been proud of him for what he's done in the off season. A couple of things that Coach Kubik, gave him to work on in terms of what we thought he could do to get better, in terms of his understanding of the offense and being able to get us out of some things. And then he's worked really hard at having a little bit better pocket presence than we thought he could improve on. So hopefully he can stay healthy and have the kind of year we think he can have.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, Dan. Good talking to you.
Thank you, Dan. And our next questions come from Whitney Hayworth with the Sunbelt Digital Network. Whitney, please go ahead.
Coach, good to speak with you. Hope you're excited about this upcoming weekend, or Thursday, I should say.
Thanks, Whitney.
Obviously, when you and I chatted at Media Day a little bit, you can't dive too deep into position groups and where they stand and what you expect from them. But outside of the quarterback, as you just talked about with Dan, what is at this point a position group that impressed you most during fall camp?
I think our wide receiver group I'm really excited about, and we had most of them coming back from last year, and you don't know necessarily how they're going to react and what their expectation is in terms of improving. So I've been excited about them. I've been excited also too about our defensive secondary, about our defensive backfield, because we were decimated last year with injuries on the back end, and we've got 3 or 4 of those guys back, and I was anxious to see how they came back and, in terms of their health, and then, kind of moving back in, to the playing roles. And I've been really excited about their progress in terms of getting them back and seeing a smile on their face again. So that's been fun.
I'll follow up as well with, obviously you guys kick off on Thursday. Does that change for you guys in regards to preparation at all in this first week, or is it just business as usual?
No, it really it hasn't changed in the sense that, we just backed everything up. And the only really change for me is I've never had a home game on Thursday night. We played, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 in McNeese, but, South Florida, Middle Tennessee, a few of those, but they were always away games. Last year we played Memphis on Thursday. It was an away game. So it's kind of my first experience. I made a few calls around, and asked a few people that have experienced it a lot more than I have, how they handled it and things, when your kids actually have to go to class the day of the game. And so anyway, that's I guess that's the only thing that's been a little different for me, but the preparation's been the same.